Wednesday with, of course, Writing Super Scholars. So, if you remember back to Monday, we were working on improving our journal writing to write a really nice, awesome paragraph every time we do our journal entry to get better at our detailed and our quick writing. So you are going to need the journal entry that you started on Monday. You're not going to write till the end of our lesson today, but you will need the same journal entry that you started on Monday because we're going to add to it and make it better. So let's go ahead and check out what is our learning target for Wednesday. It says, I can write the opening and closing sentence of my journal entry. So back on Monday, we were writing the 3 details of our journal. We were giving specific instances, describing, showing to our reader 3 different details. Today, we are going to add the beginning and the ending part of our paragraph with the opening and the closing sentence. That is what's going to round out our 5-sentence paragraph and make it nice and strong. And my friends, we're not just adding the opening and closing sentence, we're adding the buns of our hamburger. We're finishing off the perfect hamburger with the top and the bottom bun. Like I said, we've already written the details. We added the cheese, the meat, and the yummy lettuce to our hamburger. And now we just need to start and end our hamburger with the buns, the opening and closing sentence. That's what's going to finish our hamburger and finish our paragraph. We want both. We want a complete burger and we want a complete paragraph. So my friends, what exactly are the buns of writing? What is the opening and closing sentence? Let's take a look. So my friends, the opening sentence is a paragraph. It's like when you're opening a door. You're starting it for the first time, you're entering. When a reader is reading your opening sentence, they are entering your writing for the first time. They are getting introduced to it. So in an opening sentence, it introduces the topic. Remember we talked about introducing in our stories? When we meet something for the first time, we're introducing, which often happens when we open a door. We're meeting someplace or someone for the first time, getting introduced. And it introduces the topic of our journal. What is our journal about? What is the question asking us to write about? And that's often the topic. What we're writing about all together in our paragraph. So the opening sentence, my friends, introduces the topic, lets your reader know right away what they're about to read about. That's how we start our paragraph. That's the top bun. That's all nice and fluffy. But then what about the bottom bun that holds it all together and catches anything that falls in our burger? That's the closing sentence. So like we were opening a door before, now we're closing. We're closing that door because our paragraph, our writing is finished. We're closing and we're walking away because all our work is done. That is the end, the closing sentence. And in this closing sentence, we do something called summarizing. To summarize is to just say again, but in different words. We're going to summarize the topic that was introduced in the opening. What our paragraph and our journal entry is about. So in that closing sentence, our last before we end our writing, we're stating again, one more time, one of the most important parts of the topic of our paragraph. Either we're summarizing our opinion again, or the main point of the story that we made up. Either way, this final sentence says one more time that topic, that main focus of our paragraph, but summarizes it, uses different words to tie our paragraph and our burger in a nice little bun, all together so it fits nice and tight. So this is what we're going to focus on today, Super Scholars. We're going to write that beginning, that opening sentence, as well as write the closing sentence to our paragraph. Finish it off. I'm going to show first an example of a full, complete journal entry, and you're going to have to find what's the opening and what's the closing sentence. So, we're going to look at a journal entry from a question we saw earlier this week. On Monday, you all had to write this question. Do you miss winter now that spring has started? Why or why not? Do you miss winter now that spring has started? Why or why not? So all of you had awesome answers. They had great details, but we're going to add an opening and closing sentence to our work. So I'm going to show you this example. I'm going to read it, and I need you to tell me what's the opening sentence, our top fluffy bun, that introduces our topic, and what's the closing sentence, the bottom bun, that summarizes the topic and ends our paragraph. Let's see. So the response I wrote was, I think winter and spring are wonderful, but very different seasons. I am very excited for spring, and I do not miss winter because I love when flowers start to bloom. I love to see new flowers grow on my walk. My favorite kind of spring flowers are tulips. Spring is finally here, and I am very happy. Okay, I'm going to read it one more time, and I need you to tell me what's the opening sentence and what's the closing sentence. One more time. Let's see. It says, I think winter and spring are wonderful, but very different seasons. I am very excited for spring, and I do not miss winter because I love when flowers start to bloom. I love to see new flowers grow on my walk. My favorite kind of spring flowers are tulips. Spring is finally here, and I am very happy. Okay, what is the opening sentence? Which part introduces the topic of my paragraph, spring and winter? What's the opening sentence? The first one, of course, that's underlined. I think winter and spring are wonderful, but very different seasons. This sentence is introducing my topic. It's letting the reader know what this entire paragraph is going to be about. Winter and spring, which we got directly from our question. This entire paragraph is going to be about winter and spring, so I focus that for my opening sentence, letting my reader know what they're going to read about. And then, Super Scholars, what is the closing sentence? What summarizes the topic and finishes our paragraph? What sentence? At the end, it says, spring is finally here, and I am very happy. So this paragraph, my friends, was all about our opinion, what we think about a certain topic. And I said spring was super exciting. I was happy it was here. So I summarized, I said my opinion again, but in different words. Spring is finally here, and I am very happy. Remember, it's my opinion that I'm happy when spring is here. So I summarized that, said it again, just in different ways, to end my paragraph and put that bottom bun for my hamburger. So second grade, in this completed paragraph, you can see the opening and the closing sentence. They're acting like the buns, the top and bottom part, to close in the details, the meat, cheese, and lettuce of my paragraph. They start and end my paragraph nice and soft, so my reader can be ready to read all the meat in the middle of my paragraph. And that's going to be our job today, writing an opening and closing sentence for your journal entry. It's going to be the first time we're doing this, so I just want you to give it your best shot. However you think it is to make your paragraph the best, because then we can go from there and keep working. So we're going to start getting some ideas of how we can get the buns for our paragraph. But we deserve a break, of course, for this wonderful Wednesday. So before we start brainstorming, can you stand up with me? And I have a superpower question for you. Okay, on your feet. So second grade, would you rather be able to see things really far away, like if you had binocular eyes? Would you rather be able to see things really far away? If so, you're going to do squats. Or would you rather be able to see really, really tiny things? Like if you had microscope eyes, really, really tiny. If so, you're going to do lunges. So you have the choice. For superpower, would you rather have eyes that were like binoculars or eyes that were like a microscope? What would you choose? I would definitely want to see far away, so I'm going to choose the binocular and do squats for 5 seconds. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Shake all those legs. Shake it, shake it. Good job. Okay. Come and sit right back down in your chair so we can start brainstorming. You ready? Okay. So the journal entry that we were asked to write about on Monday was, how was your spring break and what did you do? We wrote the details, the meat, cheese, and lettuce of our journal entry, answering this question, how was your spring break and what did you do? Today, we're going to take the meat and put some buns on it to write that opening and closing sentence. So, let's brainstorm with my journal entry. Here are the details, the meat I wrote in my hamburger. It said, my spring break was relaxing, productive, and joyful. One thing I did was go to Target to buy decorations for my apartment. While I was there, I bought frames for a lot of pictures, towels for the bathroom, and pots for my new plants. So in this meat of my paragraph, I talked about how my break was, and I gave details. I painted a picture about one event I did, and I described it. This was all in my detail section. But I need that opening and concluding sentence. Let's think about this opening sentence. Remember, we want to introduce the topic. We want to tell our reader what we're writing about. Super Scholars, what's the topic of this paragraph? We're writing all about what? What just happened? Spring break. This topic of our paragraph is spring break. So I want to write an opening sentence that tells my reader, you're going to read all about spring break. I want to prepare them. So let's see. Spring break is one of the most wonderful times of the year. Awesome! So I'm telling my reader that they're about to read about spring break. Spring break is one of the most wonderful times of the year. It's a very general sentence. I'm not answering the prompts yet, but I'm preparing my reader for what they're going to read about. Introducing that topic. Writing as to tell your reader, hey, you're about to read about spring break. So I'm going to give you a little hint. So, then we come down to our closing sentence. Remember, in our closing sentence, we're ending our paragraph. We're summarizing the topic. The topic was spring break. And remember, I was talking about my spring break. So in this concluding sentence, I'm going to summarize how my break was. I already said it was relaxing, productive, and joyful. So I'm going to say something similar, but use different words. Let's think. I was very grateful for spring break and I can't wait for next year. Ta-da! I summarized the topic of this paragraph, spring break, by also saying that I had a good spring break, but I was using different words than I had before. So my concluding sentence said, I was very grateful for spring break and I can't wait for next year. So I'm letting my reader know that this is the end of my paragraph. I've summarized my final thoughts in different words, and now I'm finished writing. So second grade, we have a whole hamburger up here on the board. We've got the top fluffy bun, the cheese, the meat, and the lettuce, as well as the bottom bun that's holding everything together. Let's go ahead and read this entire hamburger to hear how our paragraph goes from opening to detail and closing sentence. Let's see. It says, spring break is one of the most wonderful times of the year. My spring break was relaxing, productive, and joyful. One thing I did was go to Target to buy decorations for my apartment. While I was there, I bought frames for a lot of pictures, towels for the bathroom, and pots for my new plants. I was very grateful for spring break, and I can't wait for next year. So as you can see, the beginning and end are a way to lightly lead our reader in and out of the paragraph, but our meat and our key details are right there in the middle. And this is what you are going to do now, Super Scholars. You're going to take the journal entry that you started, the meat of your paragraph, and you're going to draft an opening and a concluding sentence. So wherever you wrote, you just need to go ahead. Above it, I want you to write your opening sentence, and down below, you're going to write your closing sentence. Just like you were putting the top and bottom bun on your hamburger. You're going to write the opening above your details and the closing sentence below your details. You're just adding on to what you already wrote, just like I did. Once you've got the draft of your opening and closing sentence, take a picture of your new complete hamburger paragraph. Remember, it's our first try, so give it your very best shot so we can keep working hard and get better. Okay, Super Scholars, go get the meat of your hamburger, and I can't wait to see how we add our 2 buns. So let's get writing.